Mavs fans, what's going on? Welcome into NBA Now from Chat Sports, and it's trade deadline week here on Chat Sports and around the NBA, so I'm going to break down all the latest Dallas Mavericks news and rumors regarding the trade deadline, and the first one is about Tristan Thompson of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Look, Thompson prefers to be traded from the Cavs. They're not really going anywhere. They're lottery bound once again. They've got Colin Sexton and Darius Garland, Kevin Love, but Thompson is just an aging veteran who really doesn't have a lot left in his career. I don't think he wants to spend what he does have left with the Cavs. And lately, the Mavs have been linked to Tristan Thompson, one of 3 teams linked to him. And really, he's having a pretty solid year when you look at his numbers all around. 11.4 points per game and 10 rebounds. He gets a double-double on a nightly basis, and he's shooting 50.8% from the field. Obviously, most of those shots coming from around the rim, even though I've seen him shoot a couple threes this year, which I've found pretty interesting. I don't think he should be doing that on a regular basis. Now, why this might make sense for the Mavs, we'll get to in a minute, but how could they pull it off? Well, I really think this is their only avenue because, let's face it, they don't have a lot of trade chips left. So I'm thinking Tristan Thompson to the Mavs for Justin Jackson, Courtney Lee's expiring contract to make the money work, that Golden State 2020 second round pick, and then the Mavs 2021 second round pick as well going to the Cavaliers. I mean, they can't give up Dwight Powell because he tore his Achilles, so that's not really a trade option anymore. They gave up a second round pick from Utah to get Willie Cauley-Stein, so that's not a trade chip anymore. The Cavaliers don't need a point guard, so I don't see them going for a DeLon Wright or Jalen Brunson. So the only thing that makes sense here to me is a guy like Justin Jackson and Courtney Lee's expiring contract. Now, when you look at what the Mavs would have on the court when this trade, if this trade did happen, you go Luka at the point guard position, of course, with Tim Hardaway Jr., who's just been outstanding for Dallas this year in the backcourt as well. Dorian Finney-Smith at the 3. Then you go back to KP at the 4, even though he's been playing a lot of 5 now that Dwight Powell's hurt. And then there you have it. Tristan Thompson is your new starting center in Dallas. And look, I get it. The Mavs just traded for Willie Cauley-Stein. You're like, do they really need to get Tristan Thompson? Well, when you look at the big man situation in Dallas now that Dwight Powell's out, you've got KP and Maxey. Those are your 2 most reliable big men. And Maxey's been playing with KP a little bit, but more off the bench as well. And then Willie Cauley-Stein now alongside Boban Marjanovic. Boban's not going to get a lot of run anymore now that Willie Cauley-Stein is there. But we haven't seen a lot of Cauley-Stein yet. He only played 6 minutes the other night. Now, when he did play a lot, he grabbed 10 rebounds. He looked really, really solid. But I still think Tristan Thompson could come in and be an immediate starter for the Mavs and really push them over the top when it comes to his rebounding and defensive ability. Now, you say, all right, Jimmy, we just got Cauley-Stein. Why are we going to go get Tristan Thompson? Well, when you put the numbers side by side, it's pretty clear who the better player is. You know, Tristan Thompson averaging 12 points per game and 10 boards as opposed to Willie Cauley-Stein's just 7.5 and 6 rebounds per game. Now, Cauley-Stein is a better rim protector at 1.2 block shots per game, but Tristan Thompson not far behind at just 0.9. Tristan Thompson passes the ball a little bit better, even though neither of those centers really do that. And Cauley-Stein finishes around the rim a little bit better as well. But Thompson is a legit lob threat, and he's a good rebounder as well. And if all you have to give up is a guy like Justin Jackson and then Courtney Lee's contract along with that Golden State pick, I can't see the Mavs saying no in that scenario. Now, can I see the Cavs saying no? Yes, absolutely. They could probably get a lot more for Thompson on the open market, but I think that is a very viable option. So here's the question I'm going to ask you guys ahead of tomorrow's NBA trade deadline. Would you rather see Dallas trade for a wing or for a big man like Tristan Thompson? If you'd rather see a wing, type W in the comment section below. If you'd rather see a big, type B in the comment section below. Now, you're going to get hit with the YouTube ad break here, but that gives you enough time to scroll down and reply to the pinned comment. Now let's talk about the wing options for the Mavs, because there's been a couple names circulating around Mavs Twitter lately, and look, they already upgraded at center. They did get Willie Cauley-Stein, so that's bolstering their depth there, but they still want a wing upgrade, and they've reportedly been kicking the tires on a couple of names. And here's what Brad Townsend, who's very plugged into the Dallas Mavericks, said. He said, reporting with Rick Bonnell, and Rick Bonnell actually is a reporter for the Charlotte Observer, the Mavericks are mulling whether to add a 3-4 defender. I'm told they've kicked the tires on Charlotte's Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Toronto's Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, but purely exploratory at this point. This was about a week ago. He said the trade deadline is 1 week from today. Let's talk about Rondae Hollis-Jefferson first of the Toronto Raptors. We all know he was with the Brooklyn Nets for a while. That experiment didn't really work out. This was a guy that I wanted the Mavs to draft back when they picked Justin Anderson out of Virginia, but he went a couple spots higher out of Arizona. And really, he's been pretty good for Toronto. You know, he's only been playing when there's been injuries with guys like Ibaka and Siakam and even Marc Gasol going down. but when they are injured, he comes in and makes an immediate impact. And now that the team is a little bit more healthy, he's firmly in the rotation, and I've been seeing that Nick Nurse is actually giving him playmaking responsibility, which is not something I ever expected to see from Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. Now this year he's only averaging 7.6 points per game and 5 rebounds, along with 1.7 assists, but the 3-point percentage, it's not good at 14.3%. He does not shoot the ball well. However, he's great at finishing around the rim. If he gets to the rim, he's most likely going to finish. He's big enough to guard the fours, and he's just small enough and athletic enough to guard the threes as well. So what would this trade be? I don't think it would be much, honestly. I don't think that should be much. The Mavs could straight up swap Justin Jackson's contract for Rondae Hollis-Jefferson's contract, and I think it's a done deal. You know, I don't think either team gets exponentially better here, but the Mavs get a better defender in Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, which is what they need more, and Toronto, gets a better offensive player in Justin Jackson. He's a better shooter, a better scorer than Rondae Hollis-Jefferson is all around, so he comes in and makes an impact for them. Now, before I get into the next guy, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, I want to remind you guys to go check out our friends over at BetDSI. You go to chatsports.com/bet and use our promo code NBA120. If you've been watching this show for a while, you probably already know this. You've probably already made tons of money with BetDSI, but I'm going to give you that special promo code one more time, NBA120. Go put that in at chatsports.com/bet and start making some money today. Now let's talk about Michael Kidd-Gilchrist of the Charlotte Hornets. Look, he's fallen out of the rotation. From the beginning of the year, he's even known that he's going to fall out of the rotation. He was asked about it on media day. He said, no comment. He was literally asked, what's your role going to look like this year? He said, no comment. He didn't know. And clearly, he doesn't really have a role. He's only averaging 4 points per game, 2.9 rebounds, 0.8 assists, and a little bit better of a shooter than Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, but still not a reliable one at 29.4%. Now, he worked on his form because we all know his jumper was absolutely broken not too long ago, but former number 2 overall pick, and he's only 26 years old. So the Mavs were like, hey, he can guard fours, he can guard threes. Why don't we at least take a look at him? So trade I cooked up is almost the same exact one as the Toronto one, but instead of just Justin Jackson, you also got to throw in Courtney Lee because Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is making $13 million this year, and Justin Jackson's contract does not match that at all. However, Courtney Lee's expiring, and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is expiring, so you swap those two. You give Charlotte an upgrade at the offensive wing position with Justin Jackson, and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is a Dallas Maverick who can help guard off the bench. I don't think he'd ever turn into a full-time starter. He'd be more of a 13-14 type man, but still an upgrade there. You know, obviously we have Dorian Finney-Smith. He is by far our best wing defender. He will remain in the starting lineup. He's not taking his spot. He's probably not going to start at the 4 at any time, even if Porzingis is, moved to the 5. But he's a good backup. I think that's what Michael Kidd-Gilchrist could be, and he's only 26 years old. Now, the wings the Mavs do have right now, it's Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, Justin Jackson, and Ryan Broekhoff. Tim Hardaway Jr. is more of a 2-guard. I wouldn't even almost call him a wing. I mean, he is technically, but not to the level of what Dorian Finney-Smith, Justin Jackson, and Broekhoff are. Dorian, a great defender, really improving on the offensive end. One of my absolute favorite Mavs on the floor at all times. Justin Jackson, I had really high hopes for, but he's just not meeting expectations this year. Good offensively, he can get a floater, he can get a jumper, but he cannot defend to save his life. It has been brutal to watch him on the defensive end of the floor this year. And then Ryan Broekhoff, a great shooter from Australia. He's fun to watch, and he's actually been a pretty good defender, but you're not going to lean on him for more than 10 to 12 minutes a night. I just don't think you can do that as a team hoping to make a deep playoff run. Now let's look at them side by side. They both got 3 names, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. Overall, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson is probably the better player right now, but it's because he's getting more consistent minutes. I think if Michael Kidd-Gilchrist got the minutes that Hollis-Jefferson got, he would be putting up similar numbers, if not better numbers, than Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. I'm not really sure which one I would say I'm dying for. I don't think either of them really move the needle a whole lot for the Mavs, but it is an upgrade defensively, which is what we all know Dallas needs if they're going to face the likes of LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, all those kind of guys in the NBA playoffs. So I'll ask you guys, because I can't make up my mind, which wing would you rather see the Mavs trade for? Type MKG for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, type RHJ for Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. If you made me choose right now, I'd probably say Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, but I wouldn't be mad about Michael Kidd-Gilchrist either, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Now, this last segment, I had to do some last-second tweaking because originally it was about Robert Covington and Andre Iguodala, but Robert Covington just got shipped off to Houston. So now we're just going to talk about Iggy, who we have talked about at length on this show. And frankly, I'm getting tired of it, and I'll tell you why. Look, he's only not really doing much anymore in the league. Like, he hasn't played at all this year. Last year, he only averaged 5.7 points per game, 3 assists, 3 boards, shot 33% from 3. I'll tell you why I'm tired of him in just a minute. I want to remind you to go to BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Use our promo code NBA120. Get a 120% deposit bonus and go start making some money with BetDSI. Now, let's say the Mavs do make a trade. Let's say they're like, hey, we do want Iggy. This is the most I would give up for him. I would not give up any more than Courtney Lee. Other than that, I'm not touching Andre Iguodala anymore. I'm tired of him sitting out for Memphis. He doesn't want to play on a team that's a playoff team. All the drama that's going around social media because of him. He's really not that good anymore. He's 36 years old. We don't even know what he's going to bring to this team if he did get traded here. And would he even want to play here? Would he even care about playing for Dallas? Or is he just focused on going to one of the LA teams or the Warriors? I don't really know. I'm not really excited about Iggy anymore. I don't want to see him in Dallas. And Marc Stein actually backed that up for me. He says the Mavericks still seek a wing upgrade after the acquisition of big man Willie Cauley-Stein. But league sources say Dallas has maintained its reluctance to join the Andre Iguodala trade chase as reported here in December, and is also not actively bidding on Robert Covington. So obviously this was before the Robert Covington trade. Here's the deal, guys. I don't want Iggy. I don't want him. I don't think he really moves the needle for this Mavs team anymore. I don't think he's going to be committed to play. I don't even know if he's in good shape anymore. I'm out, but maybe you guys disagree with me. But here's the last question I want to end with on today's show. Who will the Mavs trade for by tomorrow's NBA trade deadline? Let me know in the comment section below. If you get it right, if you guess the player that the Mavs are going to trade for in the comment section, I'll shout you out on Twitter at all_things_Mavs. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.